creating an account and finding people on Twitter. And then, of course, we'll do a Q&A. And I do have, if there's time permitting, which I know some of you of that Twitter speak, so then at least you know what someone means when they're saying certain things to you. So what is Twitter? Well, let me back up here. I'll give you a sneak peek. When you've heard of Twitter, what have you heard about it? Like, what are your first words that come to mind when you hear someone talk about Twitter? Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian. Excellent.
All the tweets.
All the tweets. Anything else?
140 characters.
140 characters. Yes?
I'm open-minded, but I kind of had a negative impression of it, like, you know, I'm eating a ham sandwich. Now it's like everything that you have to do. You know, that's not what I want to do, is tell everybody what I'm doing every minute of the day.
So let me paraphrase for you. Mundane status updates.
Right.
Oh, listen to you guys. Yes, rawr. I'm having oatmeal for breakfast. Who cares? Okay, and that does happen. I will be honest, that is on Twitter. People will tweet what they are doing right at that moment.
Waste of time.
Waste of time. I've heard that one before, my husband. Okay. I will be honest, when someone first told me about Twitter, I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, this sounds like a waste of time. How is it going to help me? Do people really care what I have to say? And I was convinced to use Twitter, or to try it. I was actually on maternity leave with my first child. And believe it or not, the library world changes pretty fast. You have to kind of stay abreast of the new technologies, and e-book readers alone is a big issue, and just kind of connecting with your community and different tools to use. And I wasn't getting that professional development, that networking that I wanted, so I could learn more about what was happening in the library world. I was at home with my 2-week-old, watching him lay there. And my friend got me on Twitter, and I started very slow, and it became this great professional development outlet for me. I started to quote-unquote meet people who are the same as me in my library field, and that's what I use it for specifically. So it is a social networking, just like how you hear about Facebook. It's a social networking venue, just like Google+. Has anyone heard of Google+? That's the new one out there. It's a social networking venue. And they call it microblogging because, as David, right, said over here, it's 140 characters. So you know how there are some blogs where you can go to and you'll have a substantial blog post there. It could be 5 paragraphs long. A microblog means that it's very short messages, and they're coming on a continual basis. It's not a stagnant web page. Real time, that's one of the big attractions for Twitter, is that it's real time. It's what's going on at the moment. As someone else mentioned, it's status updates. It can be, I'm eating a ham sandwich. It could also be, oh my gosh, there's a bear in the Princeton area, which I have seen on Twitter. One way to think about it is, if anybody instant messages here, or an email, instead of like a one-to-one message, it really is, you're posting one message and it's going to many people. And of course I have messages on there as well. So let's go through an anatomy of a tweet. This is what a blog, remember I said it's a little mini blog post? They call those tweets. The big thing yesterday was trick or tweet. I know. Insert groan here. So here is a tweet. I pulled this from The New Yorker. The New Yorker is on Twitter, and this is something that they sent out. So they were the tweeter. They were the one who sent this out. You'll see in some of the tweets that there'll be a hashtag, like that pound symbol. And people use that as a keyword or a descriptor. That's something like, this is what this tweet is really about. And this was back in April, and this is from the Masters going on. And what happens when you link that, it hyperlinks to every other tweet that mentions the Masters. So you can see, what is everybody saying about the Masters at a certain point in time. A lot of times, again, it's only 140 characters, so you'll want to link people to other information. And so you'll see a lot of times that there will be a link included in the tweet as well. This is where it gets a little crazy. The @ symbol in front of a username, which is John Michond up there, that's a mention. That is the person who originally sent this tweet.
Well, it's recording.
And if you click on that where the @ symbol and his username is, it'll go to his profile. And then RT, you'll hear a lot about retweets, retweet this, retweeting for a good cause. Retweet basically means that you're pushing it out to the people who are following you. You want those people who are following you on Twitter to see this tweet. John Michond was the original tweeter, but you're sending it out again. So now his followers have seen it, and now your followers have seen it. Makes sense, right? I'm being moved. Hold on, please.
Just making the picture bigger so you can read it.
This is my husband whenever I tell him I'm on Twitter. I'll talk about that. Oh wait, I lost my connection. Just 1 second. This is where I always find it's a good, thank you. A good time to go into my account. Thank you. The Twitter homepage is simply at twitter.com. And I want to show you there's actually things that you can do without an account. Like Facebook, you have to have an account to interact on Facebook. Twitter, you do not have to have an account. You can go and you can look at people's Twitter profiles. You can see what the Trentonian has to say on their Twitter profile. So I haven't even logged in. You'll see this is right here, username and password. I have not even logged in yet. I'm going to go check out Oprah. And I just happen to know that her Twitter handle or her username is Oprah. So it's twitter.com/Oprah. And you'll see, here's Oprah's page. And I can see her tweets. I can see what she's been posting on Twitter.
She wrote all that?
Well, supposedly. Well, I mean, President Obama has a Twitter account. Is he the one that's really tweeting? He may be. But a lot of the celebrities, they do tweet on their own. I mean, Ashton Kutcher, I don't know if you're familiar with him, huge Twitter fan, Demi Moore. So I think a lot of times this may be Oprah. I can't see her delegating a Twitter account unless it's like an organization Twitter account. I mean, it really is a personal microblog. So there's Oprah.
Could you just go back for a minute? If
Mm-hmm.
you're not on Twitter, but you want to see what's being said
Mm-hmm.
on a certain account, use the example of the Trentonian, how would you do that?
I'm going to go back to the Twitter homepage. I just did Oprah because I knew her handle, twitter.com/Oprah. I can come up here. I have to find the search. Oh, they moved the search on me.
So you entered the twitter.com first.
I went to twitter.com, yes. I want to see if they moved the search on me. They don't have the search on the front page anymore. But if you go to, you could just Google it. You could do Trentonian Twitter. Or you can go to search. And it says, see what's happening right now. So I did a search for the Trentonian. And you'll see I'm getting what people are writing about the Trentonian, and I'm getting what the Trentonian has actually tweeted out.
How do you know how current that is?
If you look here, this one says 14 minutes ago. This one says 47 minutes ago. So that shows you how current that's coming up. And again, these are only the people who have made their profiles public. You can have a private profile. And you'll see 2 new tweets have just come in mentioning the Trentonian. So I can click on that and see what they're saying about it. Okay, so let me go back here. Let me go ahead and log into my account. So you can search, even without having a Twitter account, you can search it and you can look at people's profiles. Oh.
Just spell that person's name or something like that? That's how you get to them?
You could try that. You could try spelling out their name.
Like Chase up?
Yes. You,
Like
Chase Utley or Utley.
Want me to hold the mic for you? I'll hold it.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Sign in your
Okay.
address there.
You don't need, that's nothing. You don't even need that. I could just do twitter.com/Anna Van and it would come to my profile page.
Why did you put it in if you don't need it?
I didn't put it in. I just did my username and password. And my profile is twitter.com/Anna Van. They automatically put that pound sign in. I'm not sure what that's there for. It came when they changed their interface. But you don't need to worry about putting that into the address. Okay, so I want to welcome you to my Twitter profile. I'm letting you into my world, my very exciting world of librarianship and motherhood. And just a quick view at my page. Let me go to my profile page, which I'm on, okay. You can see what I've been tweeting out. I did my last tweet 20 hours ago. And you can see I did a couple yesterday for Halloween. Some very exciting stuff. You'll see each Twitter profile has a bio, kind of a profile. Who is this person? And I kind of put in there the key words. What do I want people to know about me? I'm part-time, I'm a librarian, I'm an instruction librarian, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm trying to make it all work. And then I put a link to my blog. I have a blog. So yes, you can get my absolutely fascinating tweets here, but if you want to know more about my days as a librarian, you can go to my blog. You'll see over here then, you can see I've sent out 6,500 tweets. I've been now, with that, let me tell you, I've been on Twitter since 2007, so it's not, what is that, 4 years. 1,500 a year. Someone's doing the math over here. You can see who I'm following. These are people who I have said I want to get their updates. And so you'll see here, these are the people I'm following.
Automatically comes into you?
All of those, whenever they do, it comes to me. 163. And that's not a lot. There are people who follow, I don't know how they do it, but they follow, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And I can't. I try to keep mine at 100, and I need to go through and pare it down. Because it's information overload. I want to focus on those people I really want to get their updates from. Who in my profession do I really want to hear from? Yes?
Does your computer beep when you go to Twitter?
No, Twitter does not. There are applications that do using Twitter, but their web interface does not. Yes? Oh, sorry, just 1 second. Yes? What's that?
Can you delete?
You can delete it. You can delete a tweet, absolutely. Now, but someone might have seen it still, but you can delete it so it's not on your profile anymore.
How did you sign up with this 163? Did you mention that? Is there someplace you go and you say, I want to get their tweets?
I'll show you how to do that. You'll see these are the people following me.
Wow.
There are 377 people who feel that I am worthy to follow. And you'll see that I've been listed on some people's lists. Some people will create lists, like they'll have librarians, New Jersey librarians, and they'll put me on that list, because then they can limit it down to what status updates that they're getting.
Since you've been on there for 4 years,
Mhm.
how long do these things stay on? I mean,
When you do,
forever or what?
they're on the servers.
Forever?
Yes. But I will say this, when you search Twitter, you're not going to get things from 4 years ago. The selling point, quote unquote, selling point on Twitter is that people want the most recent, what are people saying now?
So then why are they kept here forever?
I'll tell you what, they're there for archival reasons, for history reasons. The Library of Congress is actually archiving Twitter and all the tweets that go across it. It's a means of communication. All right, let me go back to my profile. You'll see that you can mark favorites. There are some tweets that I've kept as favorites. It's almost like an internal bookmarking component in Twitter. So there's something, if I want to remember it and use it later on, I'll favorite it here or bookmark it. All right, now I'm going to go into my news feed. So everyone, let's hope that all my people are well behaved today. So this is my homepage. This is those people that I follow, those 163 people that I follow. This is where I'm getting what they're tweeting right now. And you'll see I've got one that was 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, etc. So people are actively, people who I am following are actively Twittering. And you'll see that Twitter will also give you, it's always on the side here, they'll kind of recommend people for you to follow. And you'll also see down here what's trending on Twitter right now. So November is trending right now. That's one of the biggest topics on Twitter. Like if Dancing with the Stars is on, you'll see Dancing with the Stars tends to be trending during the live show. Because everyone's getting on Twitter and talking with the people around the world about Dancing with the Stars who are watching it through their computers. All right, so let me send out a tweet here real quick.
I'm going to say computer instead of commuter.
Okay, let's just look at my tweet before I send it out. Talking with a lovely group of people at the Ewing Computer Learning Center regarding Twitter. Say hello, and then you'll see I did a hash mark, EUCLC. It's just a hash mark I made up. Ewing Computer Learning Center. And we're going to go ahead and send that out, and so that's gone out to the 377 people who are following me. And we'll see if anybody says hi. But in the meantime, we're going to kind of walk through here. So that's going out to the people who follow me. You're going to see that this is on my homepage. This is my news feed. This is where the 163 people are coming in. You're going to see these tabs across here. And you're going to see I can click on mentions, and that will show me any tweets where I've been mentioned, where someone has put me in their tweet. So you'll see here Butternut Squash has said thank you to me. You'll see here Internet Librarian 2011 is out. Top stories today from, and I fell in there, Anna Van. I'm Anna Van, by the way. So whenever someone puts my username in a tweet, I get a notice. It shows up in my mentions tab. You can also see retweets. Remember we were talking about retweets, and I can see retweets by people I follow, which I'll be honest, the only thing I've ever done in here, I can see which ones I've retweeted, and I can see who has retweeted or sent out my tweets, who has taken something that I tweeted and said, you know what, I want to send this out to my followers. I want other people to read this. And you'll see here, I'm I'm gonna go back to my regular timeline. So this is my live feed coming in. You'll see that when you highlight it, there'll be a little arrow. And you can click on that and it'll give you more information about that person who sent it or about the people who are a part of this conversation. The other thing, let me see if I can find an example of it. Look what everybody has to say. I don't see an example of it. What they'll normally do is that in the right-hand corner, or the top right-hand corner here, sometimes you'll see a little icon, like a video reel or an image. It looks like a picture, and that'll let you know there's a picture attached to this tweet. There's a video, a YouTube video attached to this tweet, and then you can click to get that information. Yes?
How frequently do you have to put something in order for it to make sense? Like at least every day? Is it that kind of thing?
It's whatever you make it. I used to tweet a lot more often. Now that my kids are getting older, I'm not spending as much time on it. I go to my news feed. This is my news feed, probably about twice a day, just to kind of see what's happening at that moment. If I know there's a conference going on, I'll go and I'll see what's going on with the conference. I tend to now go to specific profiles. There's probably about 10 profiles of librarians or tech, like TechCrunch or Mashable, that I want to see what were they tweeting out today. And I'll go, it's almost like a newspaper for me. I'll go and check their accounts to see what they tweeted today. And I will say this, the web interface, I use it a little bit, but there's another interface that I like a lot better because it'll actually give me columns. So I can have professional development in one column. I can have friends in another column. So I can see a lot more in one sweep instead of just this one big news feed. But this is what I normally use, like because I mean, it transfers from computer to computer. This is a regular website. My profile is not protected, it's public. So you can go home to your computer, you can get on your iPad right now, and you can go to twitter.com/AnnaVan, and you can take a peek on my life and see what I'm doing. There are people who do protect, and I started out protecting mine. I was very leery of it. It's something where you are, it's being monitored, which I'll show you, not Big Brother-ish, but I'll show you how it's being monitored. I was really like, do I want everyone to know what I'm thinking about a certain thing? And this is something I talk to high school and college students about all the time, is to be aware of your digital reputation. Because just because you put it on the internet, it doesn't make it invisible. I mean, if anything, it's more visible at that point. So you kind of have to think about what you're doing when you're tweeting out this information, or blogging, or Facebooking, or whatever. I mean, the web has become an interactive place. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Just curious, do you do LinkedIn also?
I do. I'm on LinkedIn as well. That is, I use that a lot more for for recommendations. I've had people ask me for recommendations for colleagues through that. I'm going to show you a protected profile. This is someone who I used to work with at the University of Georgia. She and I are friends. We're just not Twitter friends. We've gone different directions with where we're going with our library world. So you'll see, I can't see Elizabeth's tweets. I can see her bio. I can see how many people she's following, but I can't see who she's following. So she's locked her account down. And her tweets will not show up in searches either. Remember how I showed you in the beginning? You could go on and you could search and see what's happening with Twitter right now. Elizabeth's tweets would not show up.
Well, she's revealed some things there. She's a nerd.
She is a nerd, and she's proud of it, and she should be. She's a snarker. But you'll see, so I can't see that information. It's linked to it, but it's going to say, you know what, she's protected. You're not going to be able to see it. Let's go back here. No one said hello to us yet. That's okay. They're all probably like, oh gosh, Anna's talking about Twitter again. do direct messages, so you don't have to do a message that is specifically on Twitter. You can actually, as broadcast to all your followers, you can send a direct message to somebody and they will just get it on Twitter. That's it. And I always get the question, what if I just want to send something really personal to somebody? I would say use your email. Don't use Twitter to do the direct message. What happens a lot when a direct message comes into play is I've had some opportunities to collaborate with other people around the country, and we'll start talking on Twitter about some type of instruction endeavor, and they'll be like, you know what, give me your email, DM me, direct message me your email, because that's where you can really, because you can only do 140 characters in here. So then we kind of email, we've connected, and then we'll email and we'll collaborate that way. All right, at this point I'm going to stop and ask for if there's any questions. Don't you want to know how people use it? I mean, I told you the kind of nuts and bolts, and it's like, okay, great.
Has it been talked
No. It's actually, it's very simple. And I guess that's what took me a while to wrap my head around. It's such a simple idea, and it just took off.
Well, I think it's more for like Justin Bieber fans, right? Or
People will use it in that. They will follow Justin Bieber. They will follow
stars or whatever. Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston. They will follow. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want people's opinion on a particular subject.
Yes.
You could do that as well?
Absolutely. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint real quick.
Is your husband?
No, well, he's not really my husband. He's my... One of the things you're going to find is you're going to start seeing it everywhere. And you probably already have started to see it everywhere. This is the Boston Pub. Our library does not have a Twitter account. I wish we did, because there's times when we have to cancel a program because of snow, i.e. Saturday. And I wish people could get that automatic update. This is an example of the Boston Public Library. So if you're in the Boston area and you want to get their tweets, you can say, okay, subscribe to the Boston Public Library. And unsubscribing to the Boston Public Library Twitter sounds like it's much easier than what you guys are having with some of the emails unsubscribing, because you can unfollow somebody very easily on Twitter. You'll see it in politics. Governor Christie actually has his Twitter feed on his front page here, so you can go and see what Governor Christie is tweeting about. And this is something I talked about initially, professional development. This is one of the main ways I have used it. I'm part-time, I'm at home a lot. I'm very passionate about my job. I couldn't be, I'm one of the few people I think that, that small percentage actually loves going to their job every day. And I want to make it a better, I want our libraries to advance with times. And so I have very little funding through my job for professional development, and Twitter has really helped me collaborate with other people and meet with other people and bounce ideas off of them. And this is an example. This is, you'll see I put a hashtag up here, ILI 2011. And I did a search for ILI 2011. This was a conference that just happened out in California. It's called Internet Librarian. And I couldn't go to the conference. I knew that the conference had given it the hashtag ILI 2011, so I could go in and I could see what was happening at the conference while it was happening. And if there was a program that I knew was going on, I could go on at that time and see what were people tweeting, because people will tweet from the presentations. So I can't be there, but I'm getting some of the feedback from the participants. People use it for real-time news. This is a huge example, the wedding, the royal wedding. People were tweeting from the royal wedding. It happens during earthquakes. It happens during tsunamis. People are actually tweeting out. You hear, that's where I heard about, do you remember the Colorado balloon boy? The family that said that I found out about that first on Twitter, and then the news, then they broke into my, whatever was on TV at that time to talk about it.
Are you on Facebook also?
Mm-hmm. I use it very differently, and I'll explain that. Okay. This is a real-time news search I did. My husband's an Eagles fan, I was working on this presentation while the Cowboys-Eagles game was going on, and so I'm like, you know what, let's just go on there and see what people are saying about the game. And thank goodness this is G-rated, because it's not always G-rated, especially during games. So this is a real search I did. I did Cowboys-Eagles. And you'll see, I got 37 seconds ago, 36 seconds ago, and I still have 20 new tweets that I didn't click on to see. So it was coming in pretty fast, real-time news. People are starting to use Twitter for job searching and hiring. There's a job board on Twitter called Tweet My Job. And what's the other one I'm thinking of? I have it written down here. But you're starting to see people posting more jobs, especially if it's a techie company. They're going to put their job on Twitter as well. Advice, I've used this. This is something that was mentioned over here. I've used this when I was trying to get my external hard drive crashed. And it was traumatic. And I tried to find someone locally. Actually, no, that's not what happened. I wanted to find out where can I go, what can I do. And I got a lot of things that were in other areas of the country, but I wanted something locally, which I ended up finding. But it's a great place to go to for advice. I've done it for computers, as well as instructional things. If I'm teaching a new class and I want to get some ideas, how can I approach this topic? I'll send it out. And those people who follow me really are instruction librarians. So they'll tweet back to me some ideas. And it kind of is this, almost like this crowdsourcing, like it just people start feeding off of each other with ideas then. Causes and awareness, this is the way that some of the organizations have been using Twitter for causes and awareness really has been amazing. One of the prime organizations is Livestrong. They have optimized their Twitter presence to raise money for their cause. And part of it is the people who are on Livestrong and who tweet from Livestrong. Thank you. And I'm getting my sheet here because I want to get the numbers right. So Lance Armstrong, he has over 2.6 million followers. So whatever he's tweeting out, 2.6 million people are getting that. Doug Ullman, who is a cancer survivor and the Livestrong CEO, has 990,000 followers. Brooke McMillian, who is the Livestrong social media evangelist, has 87,000 followers. So when they're tweeting stuff out, a lot of people are getting that information. They've actually used it in 2009 when other organizations were seeing less and less money coming in, people just were not donating how they used to, they actually increased, Livestrong did. And what they did is when there was a local event going on, they tweeted like crazy from it. They sent photos, they used TwitPic, which is a way that you can attach pictures to a tweet. And they ended up surpassing what they had made the year before. They used it for a petition. They had, I have to read it here so I don't get it wrong. They were collecting signatures for healthcare reform petition. They wanted to provide cancer patients adequate access to healthcare facilities and medications. In 2 days, they got 70,000 signatures for their U.S. Congress representative, all using Twitter. And one of the reasons why I think that there's such a success story is that when you go to this is their Twitter profile. When you go here, and it's kind of hard to see on the screenshot, you'll see everything on the left-hand side there, where you can go for cancer support, where can you go for, I have to read it, I can't read it. If you wanted to be a volunteer and take action. So I just think they're very innovative. I mean, it all started out with those little dollar bands that they were using, and they've taken it to the Twitter aspect as well. This is kind of a smaller version of it. This was going around a couple days ago. Wendy's was going to give money, 50 cents for every retweet to help kids in foster care. So this was going around. So every time, and Wendy's would monitor Twitter, and apparently every time it was retweeted, they're going to give 50 cents to foster care. Coupons and promotions. Companies are using this to attract people, and this is a very extreme example, but JetBlue, which is, a lower, it's not one of the big airlines in the area, they had a promotion, I think it was last year, or might have been earlier this year, I'm sorry. they said they were publicizing, we're gonna tweet out 3 locations, they were undisclosed at the time, and at those locations, we're gonna give away X number of tickets, like 1,000 tickets at each one of these locations. So they got all these people to start following them on Twitter. They were all following JetBlue. And then throughout the day, when they knew that this was going to happen, when they had said it's going to happen on, I don't know, March 24th, they tweeted their first location. And what they did is for each one, they actually told people, you need to bring something. Like the first one, they had to bring a birthday card because it was JetBlue's 10th birthday. And at each location, they had, I have to see here, it was 300 tickets at each location. At each location, the tickets were gone in 20 minutes. And they said that when they first sent that tweet out, the first person showed up within 3 minutes. And that's promoting. That's all promotions and marketing through Twitter. Yes?
I was intrigued by the advice. So say I start, I don't have any followers, I'm just in the beginning. Can I just, you know, put a question out there and just put it out there and people would be responding?
You can.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, part of it is getting the followers, having that
Yes.
kind of...
You're going to be showing us how
Yes,
to
I
use
will.
it.
I will. Learning, I do think that people use it as a learning technique. You'll see in colleges that they're using it kind of as a, once you leave the classroom, outside the classroom, they'll continue the conversation going through Twitter. Interests and hobbies, this is very much like the Kim Kardashian, you want to find out what Justin Bieber's doing, etc. Customer service, this is an interesting aspect. This again is an extreme story, but there are some companies out there that are monitoring what are people saying about him. He was very unhappy because Comcast had been down for 36 hours. And within 20 minutes, he got a message, a Twitter account, or I'm sorry, a tweet mentioned saying that it was from some exec at Comcast saying, we want to know how we can help you. That is an extreme example, but it has happened. It's happened with Verizon, it's happened with PSE&G. There are companies that are out there and they want to know, what are people saying about me? And I guess it's not that, you know, that they're scouring, looking for information for what they're saying about me. But I guess when I was talking about how people are going to get on there and say something about a service is that we're passionate about it. We believe in something. Why is Gmail down right now? Which Gmail doesn't go down that often, but they'll see that. They'll see the frustration in their customers. And we're passionate about what we use. So how do they do this? This again is, the screenshot's a little bit small, but you'll see here, you can get on here and you can search. I did this search on Saturday. I did snow, and you'll see I can pick the place, near the place of where I want to search, and I did Pennington's zip code, 08534. And I wanted to know what everybody, again, this is all the people on Twitter who are public and have actually put their home location, like you can put your zip code in there. I haven't done that. But you can put your zip code in, it's going to say, I want to know who's tweeting in this area, this 15-mile radius, about the snow. And you'll see I got some hits, and some people had posted pictures, snow and pumpkins, etc. So I will admit, I have used this. I have put in that advanced search, I put library, and I put my zip code, and I said, I want to know those people within this 10-mile radius, what are they saying about the library? So far, I haven't seen anything bad. That librarian's so loud, nothing like that. But it is, it's a nice way, and I know friends have done this where they want to see, this is more in the academic library sense, they want to know, because students are using this. They want to know what are the students saying about the library. So some quick advice, start small. Again, I started with a protected account. I followed maybe 3 people on recommendation from one of my friends, and it just grew from there. I think the whole point of Twitter, you can get on there and you can do the more voyeuristic take. You know, you can go and see what is Kim Kardashian doing, what's Oprah tweeting about. But I do think it became more apparent to me how it was a useful resource because I started to engage with others. I started to ask questions. I started to respond to other people's questions. I shared links of something interesting that I had read, maybe about how the Kindle how Kindle was interacting with public libraries and how people could download ebooks with that, some of the issues that we were having with that Amazon public library collaboration. And just thanking people. If someone does give you some advice, thanking them. It's part of the engagement with others. Following and followers. You don't need to follow everyone that follows you. You can unfollow as you wish. Nobody gets a notification, so-and-so has unfollowed you. You can block people, which is nice. Unfortunately, I have had to do a couple blocks, and it's just, you can do that on Facebook. You can really do that on any of the social networking sites. You can block people. And just to kind of be aware, what happens with your account if you're protected, if you have a protected account, is if someone requests to follow you, you get just that. You get a request. And you can say, yes, you can follow me. Or you can just say no. Or you can say no and block them. The other thing to think about when you are using Twitter is to look and make sure it's a certified account, if it's a celebrity or a politician or whatnot. This Twitter profile says Bruce Springsteen, and his username is Heavy Metal Songs, and he's from New Jersey, but this is not Bruce Springsteen. This is Bruce Springsteen. And how you know it's really Bruce Springsteen is you'll see the little blue check mark up there at the right hand of that red box that I put around it. This became very much needed after the last election. People were making up fake accounts for McCain and for Barack Obama, and it just got very, very ugly. And Twitter, actually, I've never gone through it. I'm not a celebrity, but apparently you have to go through a process to verify, yes, this is me, and I'm really tweeting from this account. So that's important to look for. As always, whenever you set up something, a blog, a Facebook account, a LinkedIn account, get your ducks in a row. Get your privacy settings where you want them. It's kind of like when you're planning a research project. Get everything in order first and then go crazy with it. I think that people go into Twitter kind of hog wild sometimes and don't really get their privacy settings set up. Because it'll default sometimes to things that you don't want it to default to. I don't want my location on there. I don't want people knowing I'm tweeting from XYZ, New Jersey. They can know I'm in New Jersey, which I have in my profile, that I'm in New Jersey, but I don't have my actual town that I live in. And with that, all you need to create an account is your name, an email, and a handle. So like your username. And then you create your password. And what people tend to not do after that then is go into their account settings. And this is where you can protect your account if you want to. This is where you can let people know, can they find me by my email? Because what you can do when you're looking for people to follow on Twitter is you can take your Gmail contact list and import it and see, okay, who is on Twitter? You can take your Yahoo email account, import it into Twitter, and it'll let you know who of your Yahoo emails are on Twitter. So you can say, I don't want my email being used for that. See, there's different privacy settings that you can use. Finding people to follow. Twitter will always give suggestions. You're going to see that on that right-hand side. I show you that. These are two of the best tools that I've used to find people because I wanted to find instruction librarians. I didn't want moms. I had moms following me because I had moms in my profile, but I wanted instruction librarians. I didn't want catalogers. I wanted instruction librarians. And Listorious.com and We Follow are both great tools to help you find. If you have an interest, if you want to know who are the knitters out there, if you want to know who are the chess players out there, you can go in and search by keywords of those topics of interest. Golfing, you name it. Believe me, they're out there tweeting. So those are two of the best resources I found to use to follow. The other thing that you can do is once you find somebody who you're enjoying their tweets, what they're sending out, look and see who are they following, who's following them, and then you can also kind of build your following list that way as well. I've answered some questions throughout. Are there any other questions you have at this point?
How many people are on Twitter, roughly? There's about 800 million on Facebook? Or
Yeah, it's not as big as Facebook. I did say I would tell you how I use it differently than Facebook. For me, Facebook has gotten more family-centric for me. My family's on there. I have second cousins on there. I have aunts and uncles. I have cousins. I don't go on Facebook to play games. I don't go on Facebook to like Dunkin' Donuts. I use it to post pictures of my kids for my family. And my Facebook account is very restricted. The people who I'm friends with on Facebook, I have met face-to-face. I know them. Whether it's been high school, grade school, grad school, moms I've met in the community, I have met them. Twitter, I've met maybe 5% of the people that I follow. I've met them, and I've had conversations, I've collaborated with them virtually, but I've not met them face to face.
This is international, I suppose?
International.
And just limited by language, basically, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe, and I heard someone recently on the radio say, I don't use my email anymore, that's passe, I use Facebook.
I don't think the email is passe. I think that it's a tool, a technological tool that has its reasons for use. I still think people use their email. I think that there's other tools that, you can do it on Facebook, but I just think about using a Google Doc. And that goes to my email if someone updates a Google Doc that I'm collaborating with. I just think it's a different tool that's used in different ways.
I was very surprised because this person's station comes out of Boston. And very knowledgeable host. And I was just very surprised to hear this.
Yeah, one of my computer gurus in here think, do you think email's dead? Mel? You think email's dead? Do you think email's dead? Email's dead?
I think email's I keep hearing that, but I can't see it online. I'm hardly ever on these things.
Certain things, certain people.
But emails are so... Of course, Facebook, you can start chatting on there, and it took me until 3 days ago to realize that you can actually chat.
Right, there's a chat mechanism, right.
On Facebook.
Right.
And it's really nice because it comes up and tells you when they're chatting,
Right.
when they're typing, so that you don't start typing when they're typing.
So what's the difference between that and instant
It's instant.
messaging?
It's instant, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's the same thing.
It's an improved way of messaging. It has to improve itself.
Instant messaging, you can go back and forth like that.
It's that in Facebook. It's just instant messaging integrated into Facebook. If someone's logged into Facebook, in your little Facebook instant messaging chat, they call it chat, you can see that they're logged in, and you can chat with them.
That's what I'm saying, in email, you can do that instant messaging.
It's not, it's asynchronous.
You can do it, but it's a lot easier and a lot quicker. And you can do it with more people as well at the same time. You see who's on there. Hey, all of these things have things that are particularly important and useful to some people, and others have absolutely no use for it. I don't think it's going to eliminate email, but it's going to take a lot of business away from it. But then every one of these things is taking business. Technology is going so fast that we have no idea what's going to be here 6 months from now.
Right.
All of this may be obsolete.
Yes.
Can you go over the little logo you pointed out in the top right-hand corner to identify that you're on a valid site for that person, or is there so much fakery on that?
I'm going to go back to Oprah's account. you look in the top, they'll have Oprah Winfrey, they'll have her username, @Oprah. But you'll see that blue check mark. Yes, and then that means it is a verified account. This has been verified through Twitter that this is actually Oprah Winfrey tweeting.
But she had to do that, or somebody.
Somebody had to do that, absolutely, yes, yes.
So if they didn't take the time to do that, then it's not going to be necessarily private.
Exactly.
We're just shy of 8 million followers.
That's
more people that sign up.
It's more for celebrity to blue check. Like your account wouldn't have a blue check on it, would it?
No, no, it's politicians, public figures, yes. Steve Jobs probably had a check mark by his. You know, people,
Yeah.
the people, not little old me.
But you could, you said.
I could go through, but I'm not sure what the paperwork and what the processes are, yeah.
Now, if you want to respond to Oprah, would you want to engage them?
I could tweet to Oprah right here. I don't even subscribe to Oprah.
I mean, if we wanted to talk to her, she may talk to us. You know what I mean?
She might,
Or
yeah.
respond to something.
Yeah, I could say, Oprah, we're looking at your
She may
Twitter
come
page.
back to my comment.
Mhm. Yeah. You'll see right here when I'm on her site and I go into that box, it automatically puts that little @Oprah. So she's going to get this message. She's going to get a notification that someone has put her name in a tweet.
It's interesting how she's using effing. You see that?
No.
Her tweet now. Effing.
Oh my goodness, Oprah.
Terrible, isn't it?
That is terrible. I thought she'd be a safe account to go to.
And that would go to her, 1,000 million people.
And that's going to her 7.9 million people.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm very surprised to see Oprah doing that. And I guess that's what I'm talking about, your digital reputation. It's not, you're not, I'm trying to think of,
Tell us, you know?
She didn't say it, she was saying someone
I
else
think
said
that's
it.
Yeah, but she said what it is. She typed it in your effing zip code.
No, see, it says that site JP loves.
no, that's who she's sending that tweet to.
She is sending?
This guy. I'm assuming it's a guy. JB's loves.
But she put it in your effing zip code.
That's what's a tweet that she wrote. That is not retweeted. If there's a retweet, you're going to see the RT in front of it. If Oprah sent that email out from somebody else. Or it's going to look like this. You'll see this, this is on my profile, but that's not me. I actually retweeted this out. There's this little arrows right here kind of going around. That means I took Steven's tweet and I posted it to my 163 followers. Or you can see a retweet like this, RT. It just depends. I was using two different tools at this point, which is why they look different. So yes, Oprah wrote that. It was not a retweet. Which is part of, I think, deciphering what is this? I mean, who's saying this? And you see that in the beginning. You see these @ symbols, and that basically will take you to their website. So I can click on that, and that's going to take me to Rachel's Twitter profile. Rachel's someone I podcast with.
Now, when you're,
Yes,
when you use the # EWCLC, you just made that up.
I just made that up. What you'll find, though, is like during the election, there'll be a Twitter handle, or during the debates, there'll be a Twitter handle. Like, I'm sorry, a Twitter hashtag like that people will use. And so if you want to know what's going on during a debate, and they'll have it like on there. I mean, you can tweet #for debates, and you'll get it for what it is. And so I just made up that UNCLC, that EWCLC.
Well, I'm not sure I understand what would use that. Why would you do that?
I did that because I wanted to, it was in hopes that someone else would say hello, which nobody did. I'm quite offended. I mean, I know I haven't been tweeting much lately, but my goodness. I was hoping that someone would tweet it back and use the UNCLC, and then I was going to show how you can click on that and see all the tweets with that hashtag.
So it's like a search kind of entry.
It's almost like, if you're in, I'm going to use the library catalog as an example. You find a subject heading that you like and you click on it and it gives you all the books with that subject heading. Yeah.
So I've seen that I guess on TV, like news programs, it'll say, last question, and they'll have that little hashtag.
Right, and that's a descriptor. Right, right, and that's what they'll use to search Twitter and see who answered the question using that hashtag. Yeah, you're gonna start seeing the hashtags because they're always on the bottom of news programs now for the topic that's at hand.
I'm not sure, but I think Jeff Elstone or Clintonian, he's got a Twitter page or something, and if you Twitter him things, he'll put it in the newspaper.
I think, yeah, you'll see that in a lot of news.
Accident story this past week was a big accident.
Right.
People take some of that and put it in the newspaper or something.
Even if you listen to NPR or Car Talk or All Things Considered, they said, we received a tweet from blah, 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 and people are commenting on what they're listening to on the radio. And they'll draw attention to that. We got your comment through Twitter.
This morning I went online early and I noticed Kim Kardashian got divorced. And I was shocked when I read the article. Underneath the article there were like 1,000 tweets already. People were shooting their comments. Blah, blah, blah.
And there is a balance. I mean,
So fast.
yeah, it can be information overload, and that's why I think there's a balance. For me, I have to balance that. Because I do it, like I said, I check in the morning, I check in the evening. There's my 5 to 10 profiles that I'll go to on a regular basis to look at, but...
And tomorrow in the newspaper it'll say Kim Kardashian. I already know that. It's old news, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the real-time news. News in quotes.
News. The newspaper. It's old. It's a tomorrow's paper.
Where have you been? We said it yesterday.
It was yesterday.
But it was on television last night, so you got it late.
Actually, the publicity, that's the first place.
My email is on the handout that I gave out. If you do venture onto Twitter and you do have questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to answer questions about it, especially if you are looking for people to follow and you're trying to kind of build up your followers arsenal, I guess. Again, thank you for listening and for your questions.
Of course, on Twitter,